Hello and welcome to the Full Frame with Mark and Ben. I'm Mark, here's a picture of Ben, and this is the Full Frame with Mark and Ben. In this video I wanted to talk about one film and one film stock only, and that is Fuji 400. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I went into a photography shop recently, which is my local photography shop in Winchester, the London Camera Exchange, not a sponsor, but if you want a sponsor, feel free to get in touch. And I walked in and saw loads of boxes of Fuji 400 and Fuji 200, and I've not seen these for ages, so I did get a little bit excited and bought some of the film. The reason I got excited I'll go into a little bit more later, but I'd shot Fuji 200 before with varying results, some good results, some not so good results, but I wanted to start with Fuji 400 because I'd never shot that before. I carried this film stock in my camera for a few weeks, so I went to a few different locations and a few different weather conditions. So hopefully in this video I'll showcase like how to shoot this film and where you'll get the best results. I'd heard a lot about like the Fuji greens. You hear a lot about this if you watch a lot of YouTube videos about film photography. And as I was shooting in Green Park in London, it really didn't disappoint. The greens really do pop out, and I was really quite impressed with that. As I said, the roll stayed in my camera for a few weeks out. When I went to my nan's birthday in Kent later that month in November, I shot a few photos at the seafront as well. As I walked along the seafront, there was quite subdued light, but there were some light up signs at arcades that I thought I'd try and see what it looked like. And then I actually think the reds in this Cursed Lightning McQueen look quite good as well. The week after that, we were visiting the Kingsclear Darkroom for the last episode that came out on YouTube. And then we walked along to what is now the abandoned Little Nellie's Diner. Me and Ben used to go to this diner. It was an American diner in Kingsclear. We used to go there like in lunch breaks from work. Unfortunately, it closed down during COVID, but it did make for some really good photos, I think. And weirdly, I had shot Fuji 200 at this location in 2023. So here are a few of those shots so you can sort of compare and contrast how they look. Should we go in? Oh, that's mad, isn't it? We sat there. Finally, we stopped at Oxford to shoot the Weird Cameras video. I still had Fuji in my camera. I managed to get 3 more shots off. I'm glad I got a shot of the men with the penny farthings, because otherwise I'd be stuck with that grainy black and white one from my brownie. And I got a few others from Oxford as well. Overall, I really like the look of Fuji 400, but as I said, I did get quite excited when I saw it. And the reason why is because you don't see Fuji 400 or Fuji 200 or any Fuji film very often. All I hear coming off of YouTube channels talking about film photography is Fuji don't make film anymore, or they make less film, they make less variety of film. So I thought I'd look into it to see what film they're actually making. As it turns out, it's all a lie. I looked on Fuji's website to see what films they actually make, and I'm not sure when they last updated this, but I'm guessing it's more than a couple of years ago, because they say they still make in the UK Fujicolor C200, Fujicolor Superior Extra 400, Fujicolor Pro 400H, I've not seen that for a while, Velvia 50, Velvia 100, Provia 100F. I've bought Velvia 100 new about 18 months ago, but that was a while ago now. I've not been able to get it since. And then Neopan 100 black and white. These are in various 35, 120. Some are in 8x10 and 4x5. This is what they say on their website. Obviously, they've not updated this for ages because I've not seen most of them for a while now. So Fuji, just get on it and update it to what you actually make, which is not a lot because, as it turns out, Kodak have been making Fuji for a while. I watched Lucy Luman's video on this where she checked 200 against Kodak Gold, and it's basically, well, it is exactly the same film.
Somebody has shared the spectral sensitivity chart for both of the films, and they look exactly the same in the curves. I think that, paired with now seeing the two films shot side by side like this, it can confirm that they are definitely the same film.
So where Kodak are just repackaging it and selling it to Fuji, and then Fuji are selling it to us, I would say if you're going to buy Fuji, just look at what gold costs. If gold is cheaper, buy that. If Fuji's cheaper, buy that, because that's your only option, really. Which I think is quite sad, because you want a little bit of diversity in what you shoot. You want to look at the different options you've got. And I feel like a bit of a tit now for talking about all the Fuji greens. Look how green that looks. I could have just been shooting gold. It would have been exactly the same. It really doesn't disappoint. The greens really do pop out, and I was really quite impressed with that. So in terms of like trying out new films and seeing what new films there are, it basically comes down to what third-party companies can do with old Kodak stock and see what they can do with that. And that's basically the only option, because no one else is really making it apart from Harman Phoenix. So in terms of colour anyway, I guess that's it for this episode of The Full Frame. Don't forget to like and comment if you're able. We'll be back next week for more sexy and excited adventures on film. Goodbye.